How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Last time we returned to Mount Lanakila in order to take on the Pokemon League once more. We faced off against Molayne and Kahili of the Elite Four, which means there are only 2 more Elite Four rematches left for us to do. This time we're going to be starting out in this chamber over on the left-hand side. Welcome to the Rock Chamber. I won't be holding back. My Rock-type Pokemon will grind you to dust. Your puny little Pokemon are going down in one hit. Huh. Here we go, we have been once again challenged by Olivia of the Elite Four. Her first of her 5 Pokemon, the same as the last time we fought her. Armaldo, level 66, Rock and Bug type with Battle Armor for the ability. With the moves, X-Scissor, Stone Edge, Liquidation, and Crush Claw. That's right, this thing can actually counter another type of Pokemon that you try to use against it with its Liquidation. Pretty cool. So it can counter the ground types that you try to use against it. It's a really neat tactic. I like it. Armaldo is going to go down to a Sparkling Aria. Easy said, easy done. Olivia's next Pokemon, the fellow fossil Pokemon of the Hoenn region, Cradilly, level 66, Rock and Grass type, with Suction Cups for the ability. With the moves, Stone Edge, Seed Bomb, Sludge Wave, and Earth Power. We're going to go ahead and switch out Triton because I completely forgot. I don't have too much PP left on Sparkling Aria, and I would run out by the time this battle is over. So, since I'm Choice Specs, that would be a pretty bad idea. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use U-Turn with Caffeine here because it is super effective, and it gets some chip damage off on Cradilly. Wow, that was way more than chip damage. That literally did more than half. My goodness. Okay. I mean, I could go in with Elizabeth here. Would it use Seed Bomb? You know what? Even if it does use Seed Bomb, we should be okay. Let's go ahead and send in Elizabeth here just to see what it's planned to use. It planned to use Stone Edge, and Stone Edge does hit, but that kind of only really tickled my sandcastle, because, I mean, when you think about it, when sand is wet, it can kind of sometimes form into a rock-like substance, right? So, kind of works out. We're gonna go ahead and use Psychic. We do outspeed, which is actually pretty cool. It did not do nearly enough, though. Here comes the Seed Bomb, and Seed Bomb actually didn't do that much. Wow, I guess I'm more defensive than I thought I was. We're gonna use Psychic again, and again, these trainers are not using full restores. They used them in the initial battles, right? Or was my Mandela affecting myself? I could have sworn they did. Either way, Cradilly does go down to 3 Psychics, and Olivia's going to be sending out her next Pokemon, Gigalith, level 66, Rock type with Sandstream for the ability, which means a Sandstorm is a brewin'. With the moves, Stone Edge, Earthquake, Iron Head, and Throat Chop. To get a little bit of health back, I'm going to use Giga Drain here, because it is super effective. That did quite a lot, actually, too, so not too bad. We're going to gain back about 50 health, so yeah, that was actually not too shabby. Throat Chop is going to hurt, but it is not nearly enough to do enough damage. So you know what? I'm going to use Giga Drain again, just to keep getting my health back. That did a little more this time than it did last time, which means we should be around the 140 range. 150, nice, okay. And we avoided the Throat Chop Pokemon refresh. Ah, chef's kiss. Leftover's gonna heal our HP a little bit, and this last Giga Drain should be enough to take out Gigalith and also get us to around, I guess, like the 190 range in terms of health. Okay, 190 exactly, not bad. Down goes Gigalith. Sandstorm is raging for probably about 2 more turns, but since we are a ground type, we are not afflicted by the Sandstorm, which is awesome. Alright, the next Pokemon for Olivia is going to be her ace, Lycanroc, level 66, Rock type with Keen Eye for the ability, holding the Rockium Z. With the moves, Stone Edge, Crunch, Fire Punch, and Rock Climb. We're gonna go ahead and use Earth Power. It is not using its Z move, it's going for Crunch. Unfortunately, Midnight Lycanroc is not a Dark type, otherwise, that Crunch probably would have taken me out for being super effective. It actually, I think, would have been really cool if all 3 Lycanroc forms were a different type. Like, if... I mean, I don't want to say Rock Fighting for Midday form. Like, if anything, you could have kept Midday form as a pure Rock type, like Rockruff. It would have been cool if Midnight Lycanroc would have been Dark type, and then Dusk Lycanroc, if Dusk Lycanroc was Fighting type, I think that would have worked. That probably would have worked. Or maybe even Rock Psychic, that wouldn't have been that bad. Our defense is going to fall from that Crunch, but we are using Earth Power, and that should be more than enough to take out Lycanroc. Indeed it is. Yet another battle where the Z move is not used, interestingly enough. The Sandstorm is going to subside, we're going to gain a little bit of health back from those leftovers, and Olivia is preparing to send out her final Pokemon, Probopass, level 66, Rock and Steel type, with Sturdy for the ability. With the moves, Earth Power, Dazzling Gleam, Power Gem, and Flash Cannon. We're going to use Earth Power. I'm probably expecting it to use... Well, first off, we got it down to its Sturdy, which is great, awesome. Even though, either way, it really didn't matter. We were either breaking the Sturdy or bringing it to its Sturdy. We finally go down. Pokemon Refresh does not come in clutch this time off of that Flash Cannon. I mean, it literally does not matter who we use at this point. I'm just going to throw in Caffeine just because. We should hopefully outspeed. I mean, I'm not, like, concerned about fainting here, but, you know. No, we did outspeed. We're going to use Wood Hammer just because it's funny for a little koala that's sleeping to just chuck a big wooden hammer at a Pokemon. And with that, we have defeated Olivia of the Elite Four. What a spectacular trainer you are! Now when the children of Alola finish their island challenge, they can visit the Pokémon League to try to become the champion. The trainers of Alola will become even stronger. And there we go. We have defeated the 3rd member of the Elite Four. So now, there is only one more trainer left for us to take on. And she is going to be in this chamber right here.
Hiya, Acerola here, bringing an old royal touch to the Pokémon League.
Okay, for Acerola, I think I want to start with Caffeine. I probably won't stay in with her, but, you know, I think Caffeine's a perfect starting Pokemon.
Hey, even if you are the champion, you can't go into the champion's chamber without proving you can get past the Elite Four. And besides, battling is just plain fun. Come on, I can take you.
Here we go, we have been challenged by the final member of the Elite Four, Acerola, with 5 Pokemon. The first of which is going to be Bayonet, level 66, Ghost type, with Insomnia for the ability. With the moves, Shadow Claw, Sucker Punch, Infestation, and Shadow Sneak. Okay, so it's probably gonna go for Sucker Punch here, which honestly is not that bad. Or Infestation, yeah, Sucker Punch was the more ideal move, because it could do damage to me before I could damage it. We're just gonna stick with Shadow Claw, not enough to take out Bayonet, because we did not get a critical hit, which means it is gonna get to use another Sucker Punch here. And that does quite a bit of damage after 2 of them. That kind of racked up very quickly. However, we did hit another Shadow Claw. This time we get a critical hit when it didn't even matter, and Bayonet is gonna go down. Alright, Acerola's next Pokemon is going to be Dhelmise, level 66, Ghost and Grass type, with Steel Worker for the ability. With the moves, Phantom Force, Power Whip, Earthquake, and Heavy Slam. I'm gonna stick to using Shadow Claw here in hopes that we can take it out. It is super effective, but we are not a Ghost type, so unfortunately, and that was a critical hit too, wow. Yeah, Dhelmise is a very, very defensive Pokemon. That's why I wanted to use it on my Ultra Sun team. Alright, we do survive with 1 HP thanks to Pokemon Refresh, and another Shadow Claw will be more than enough to take out Dhelmise here. I'm sorry, Dhelmise, that I forgot your name before when I first mentioned that I caught you in Ultra Sun way back when. I hope you can forgive me. Caffeine is gonna grow to level 73. And Acerola is preparing to send out her next Pokemon, Frostlass, level 66, Ice and Ghost type, with Snow Cloak for the ability. With the moves, Blizzard, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, and Ice Shard. Ice Shard coming out because it is the priority move, and Caffeine is going to go down. Okay. So, it's probably better for me to send out Rocco. Yeah, you know what? Every one of my Pokemon needs to shine in these Elite Four videos. We are dwindling down to the very end, so everybody gets some screen time. Let's go ahead and use Fire Fang. And down goes Frostlass. I would hope so. We are 14 levels above it. That would have been very crazy. Rocco is going to grow to level 81. And Acerola is sending out her next Pokemon. In fact, it's actually her ace. Palossand, level 66, Ghost and Ground type, with Water Compaction for the ability, holding the Ghostium Z. With the moves, Shadow Ball, Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, and Giga Drain. We're going to use Crunch here in hopes that we take it out. We did not take it out, and it is not using its Z-move. Very, very surprising. Whoa, that did a lot of damage. I know it's super effective, but holy moly, that actually did a lot more than I thought it would, considering the level difference. Another Crunch, though, is going to be enough to take out the Palossand, which means Acerola only has 1 Pokemon remaining. And that Pokemon is going to be Drifblim, level 66, Ghost and Flying type, with Aftermath for the ability. With the moves, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Psychic, and Will-O-Wisp. Probably would be more wise for me to use Stone Edge, but I'm afraid that I would miss it, so I'm just gonna stick with Crunch. Drifblim does live, and it's gonna use Shadow Ball. Are we going to live on 1 HP? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Oh, beautiful. Pokemon Refresh, you are just the greatest. We'll use Crunch one more time, and that is more than enough to take out Drifblim. However, with its Aftermath ability, Rocco gets hurt and gets taken out in the process. Nonetheless, though, Rocco, thank you for your assistance in that final moment of the battle, as we have defeated Acerola of the Elite Four.
the Elite Four is fun, but so is being a captain. I'm not sure what to do.
I mean, you would think, especially for a child of your age, an Elite Four gig would probably be the better one, considering in technicality or in real-world speak and statistics, it should be a higher-paying job, so, you know, more security early on in your career as a Pokemon trainer? I don't know, maybe that's just me. Nonetheless, we have defeated all 4 members of the Alola Elite Four, which means we can now enter the Champions Room, and that is where we will be defending our Alola League title. Next time on Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, we defend our Alola League title. Until then, thank you for watching, and I will catch you later.